Hey everyone and welcome back. In our last video, you achieved a huge milestone, deploying a full web application using EC2, RDS and S3, all within a secure VPC. You now know how to manage servers in the cloud. But what if you didn't have to manage the servers at all? Today we are diving into the world of serverless computing with a groundbreaking service called AWS Lambda. By the end of this video, you will understand how to run code without provisioning or managing server. Just to quickly recap, our journey so far has focused on the traditional cloud model, where you have rented a virtual server in the EC2 and manage it yourself. Today, we are taking a completely different approach. Our goal is to introduce you to the serverless paradigm and show you how to run code on demand using AWS Lambda. So, what exactly is serverless? The name is a bit misleading, but because there are still servers involved, you just don't have to worry about them. AWS takes care of all the underlying infrastructure for you. Lambda is the primary service for this. It lets you upload a small piece of code called a function and it runs it on for you on demand. The key benefits are incredible. You no longer have to worry about managing servers. You only pay for what you use and it scales automatically with your traffic. A Lambda function is made up of few key components. First, there is the function itself. This is the code you want to run. Then there's a trigger, which is the event that makes your code execute. For example, a user visiting a web page or a new image being uploaded to S3 bucket. Finally, you have an IAM role, which gives your function the necessary permissions to securely interact with other AWS services. Alright, let's jump into the console and build our very first Lambda function. I'll show you how to create a simple function from scratch. We will use a simple Python script that just returns a hello world message. I'll then show you how to test the function in the console to see it run and return the result. This will be the simplest possible example to get you comfortable with the service. Alright, let's get started with the live demo. I'm logged into the AWS Management Console. In the search bar at the top, I will type in the Lambda and click on the service to go to the dashboard. This is where we will manage all of our serverless functions. The first thing we need to do is create a function. So I will click the big orange create function button. We are going to choose author from scratch because it gives us full control. For a simple hello world function, this is the best place to start. Next, I will give our function a name. I will call it my first Lambda function to keep it simple and easy to remember. Under runtime, this is where we choose our programming language. AWS Lambda supports many languages like Python, Node.js, and Java. For this demo, I'll choose Python 3.9. It's a great language for beginners and works perfectly for this example. I will search for Python 3.9 here. I will leave the permissions as default and which is the create a new role with basic Lambda permissions. This is important because it automatically gives our function the ability to write logs to the CloudWatch, which is how we will see if our function ran successfully. Once I've reviewed the settings, I will click the create function button at the bottom of the page. It will take just a moment for AWS to set up necessary components for our serverless functions. Great. Now that our function is created, we are on the main configuration page. I will scroll down and I can see a code editor right in the console. Okay, so this is where we will write our serverless code. The key takeaway is that the main entry point is a function called Lambda handler. It takes two parameters, event and context. The event is the input data that triggers our function, and the context gives us information about the function's execution. I will replace the default code with my own simple hello world function. Inside my code, I will add a simple line that prints a message. I will replace this to do and type print, and then inside I will write hello from my first lambda function, the name of my function basically. This message will show up in our logs. The function will also return a JSON object that contains a status code as mentioned in the code, and a body with our hello from lambda that is written in the code as well. This is the typical response format for web applications. Once the code is in place, it's crucial to click the orange deploy button. It's blue right now. This saves the code to the functions and making it ready to be executed. If you forget to deploy, your changes won't be saved. If I close this window, then my changes won't be saved. I need to click on deploy. Let's do that. It's successfully updated. Now for the fun part, testing our testing our serverless function without a server. Up in the top right corner, there's a test tab. I'll click on that test tab. We need to configure a test event. Think of this as a mock input for our function. I will give the event name like hello world test and leave everything default JSON that you can see. This simulates an event that will trigger our code. Now I will click save. With our test event created, all we have to do is click the orange test button and wait for the whatever happens. Okay, the execution is succeeded. The function has executed. You can now see the results right here. The execution results says succeeded, which is exactly what we wanted. If I look at the function's logs, I can see the message we added to our code. That is hello from my first Lambda function. This proves that our function code has ran successfully on AWS, and we didn't have to worry about a server, an operating system, or any of the underlying infrastructure. This simple demo shows you the core power of Lambda, that is the AWS Lambda. That is, you don't try to do you just write the code. You don't have to handle any servers, and AWS handles everything for you. So there you have it. You have taken your first step into the world of serverless computing. You have now seen how to run code on AWS without needing to worry about a single server. In my next video, we'll make our Lambda function more useful by creating a trigger for it, showing you how it can respond to the real world events. This will be an exciting step into the building the event driven application. If you have liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.